The others went upstairs to bed. Then, at 4:02 a.m.,
911 emergency. My son shot my husband. I need an ambulance. He's bleeding. How old is your son? 10. How old is your son? 10. Oh my God.
you were the first detective at the scene after the murder, is that correct?
That's correct.
Detective Greg Rowe saw Jeff Hall dead on the couch. He says little Joseph, who was found hiding upstairs under his covers, described calmly how he had gotten the family's Rossi 357 Magnum from his dad's closet.
Went downstairs and shot his dad. He described how he used his 4 fingers to cock the gun and used 2 fingers to pull the trigger, and he pointed at his ear.
This was not a case of a kid thinking it was a toy and letting it go off by accident.
There's no evidence that this was anything but intentional.
Prosecutor Michael Socchio.
When he was taken into juvenile hall, he was so little, they didn't have shoes to fit him. So they had to go out and buy him a little pair of tennis shoes. He asked if he'd be able to keep the shoes when he left, which showed an absolute lack of understanding of what was going to be happening.
The Department of Justice reports only 9 cases of a 10-year-old killing a parent since 1980. But then, how many American kids are raised by a Nazi? When you heard that the victim was the head of the local Nazi organization, did you just think to yourself that that had something to do with it?
When I first heard it, I thought there's got to be some connection with Nazi views, with guns, with weapons, with violence.
Hate speech?
Hate speech.
Yeah.
Sure.
That was just about everyone's assumption. So we set out to discover why Jeff Hall became a Nazi 3 years ago.
I think the biggest factor that contributed was the economy. When the housing market just fell apart in California, he had no work. He hadn't worked for 3 years.
You may think that that's why he became a Nazi, but the true reason is whatever inside of you, whatever you've been programmed. See, we all been programmed to either love each other or love yourself, or we've been programmed to hate, kill, and destroy. See, whatever inside of you, as you grow like a tree, you don't see the apple the first couple months. You see the fruit after the tree is grown into its almost like adult state, and then it produces either the apples or the grapes or the pears. See, these are the results of how a person was programmed, the conditioned behavior. The child killed his own father. Why? Because the child was brought up in aggression. So I don't have to get mad at nobody for doing anything that they're doing, because I understand whatever energy you put out, you will attract it back to you. So if the father, which was a Nazi, same Nazi that was in Lincoln Heights, the same Nazi that was in downtown or wherever in the world, the father that was aggressive, violent, and ignorant in the negative frequency is now no longer with us. His own son, his 10-year-old son. I got children and I love them. I don't have no weapons around them where they can pick them up, and I don't show them this aggression, because I know whatever you put out, you will receive it back. It always comes back to let you know this is how you've been feeling towards yourself. Like this mirror that I'm looking in. In order for me to receive a reflection of a smile from this mirror, I have to do something on the inside. On the inside, right? I got to do something on the inside to create what I want to see on the outside. In order for me to see a frown, I got to do something once again on the inside of me, from my thinking and feelings, to express a frown. So whatever we receiving in this magnificent universe, which is a big mirror, it's a reflection of what you've been receiving as you was growing. And now you are expressing. These are results. These are effects. The child shot his father. That is effect. That is a result. The cause is the great-grandparents instilled these things in their children. Woo! But you got an opportunity right now not to judge them as good or bad, but to understand if I stay in a negative vibration too long, not only me, I will be affected from it, but my children's children will also be affected from this negative vibration that I was conditionally given from my grandparents. How do you change a negative vibrational frequency? You shift your thoughts. Remember, before anything is physical, it was first a thought. You shift your thoughts. How do you shift your thoughts? You take on new information. New information that you haven't been experiencing, like, I love myself. I love my fingers. This is a magnificent universe. Everything outside of me is a reflection of me, so I love it. I can change my perception. We have these higher faculties: intuition, perception, imagination, reason, and will, and memory. Once you understand and strengthen these higher faculties within yourself, the same way you make muscles, you work out. So you can work out these truths about yourself. The truth of me is great health. I am amazing. I feel so good and I look so young. Today is the best day of my life. These are truths. And if you feeling good too, like I love my toes, my heart is beating in perfect perfection. Now you got a thinking good, a feeling good, which work in perfect balance, causes an effect. The effect will let you know what you've been doing and thinking all this time, which you will receive. The Father received a shot from his Son. He was given all this anger, aggression, and violence. Had over 500 members in the Nazi group. Given all this, and he received something from his Son. Now, was it good or bad?